it hard to understand. He was divinely prepared.
It's a lot of symbolism. Now, you have, some people say that the European he's a Gehazi. Gehazi is a word that comes from a name, Gehazi. The story is during the time of Elijah and Elisha. Both were prophets of Allah. Elisha was a prophet of Allah. And what happened was many people come to Elisha to be healed. You had an individual, a king, the king of Syria, by the name of Naaman. And he had this right here. He was afflicted. Okay? He was afflicted with the form of albinism. Okay? You know what they called it in ancient times? Leprosy is a form of albinism. And this is why in ancient times we would actually quarantine and isolate those with leprosy because they were considered unclean. Okay? In the sight of those in the community. Islam. Some say the eyes of Almighty God.
Arise again in the name of Allah and our prophet. My question is, what was the name that you said that the Europeans were called?
Yes, Gehazi. I'm all right.
Praise Allah.
Praise Allah. Gahazis. Gehazites from Gehazi. Islam.
Islam. In the Bible, 2 Kings.
Yes. Yes.
5
Islam.
through 7.
You want it. You want it.
It says that, I don't know how I can't pronounce it, but they say that, quote unquote, Gazanites were sent to Europe.
Islam.
Praise Allah.
2 Kings 5:27. Gehazi, let me explain the story. Elisha was the prophet of Allah. Many people will come to Elisha to be healed. You had a case that the king of Syria, Naaman, who was afflicted with leprosy, which is a form of albinism. He went to the prophet Elisha. Elisha, please heal me from this affliction. Elisha gave him instructions, and this is a lesson for us as well, a lesson within the lesson, letting us know if you want to be healed, because many of our people are sick, mentally sick, because mental slavery is a disease of the mind. And if you want to be healed, you got to obey the prophet. So Naaman came to the prophet gave him instructions. Go to the river and wash your body how many times? 7 times. All right, 7 times. He was obedient to the prophet. Washed his form 7 times. And that's also symbolic. You got to wash this 7 times. 7 is also a number that represents infinity. And how many times we forgive? Ask Jesus, how many times we forgive? 70 times 7. 70 times 7. It's an infinite amount, if you will. Okay? So, go in the river, wash your body 7 times. He did it. He was cured. Praise Allah. Went back to the prophet Elisha. Thank you so much. I did what you told me to do. I washed. I'm clean. I no longer have the affliction. Now, I want to give you a blessing. Give you some money. Give you some clothes. Give you some food. Because I want to show my gratitude. The prophet Elisha is like, I don't do this for money. I don't do this to receive things. Thank you, my brother, but you can take that with you. I'm all right. Gehazi was a servant of Elisha. Right, that's the sign. He saw what was going on with Naaman and Elisha. He saw Elisha basically turn away the things that Naaman gave to him. He looked at it like, oh man, you ain't gonna take that? So he waited till Elisha walked away. He ran, caught up with Naaman. Oh, wait, you know what? I think he does want those things that you offer. I'll take those. He took all of the silver, the clothes, and everything. And Elisha, being a prophet of Allah, he found out. How could you do this? All right? You're supposed to be the servant of the prophet. You're showing avarice. Prophet talks about in the literature the greediness of avarice shall never be satisfied. So because of his greed, his avarice, which is a disease of the heart, a disease of the soul, he says, may the leprosy of Naaman cling to you and your generations forever. And he says, the scripture says that Gehazi left the presence. Say it again.
White as snow.
All right, I'm gonna leave it at that. Okay. A lot of this is symbolism.
You said forever.
Mm-hmm.
That means gonna open Europeans forever.
This is the symbolism. I'm explaining this is why there are those who call Europeans Gehazites, because it says forever. Okay, it says forever. Okay, so when you get into the genes and how we were created, the prophet is letting us know we as a clean and pure nation, we don't desire to amalgamate or marry. Some try to play the fools by halves and say, well, I can marry a European because the prophet says we don't desire.
Right.
And a desire is a longing.
Right.
So I can marry a European just as long as I don't have this longing.
Oh wow.
No, that's not what the prophet is doing. Okay, that's not what the prophet is doing. The prophet is letting us know we as a clean and pure nation, we don't desire to amalgamate or marry into the families of the pale-skinned nations of Europe, neither serve the gods of their religion. Not saying there's no hate that's involved.
That's right.
And this is why those during the time of Marcus Garvey, the so-called white supremacist groups, they love Marcus Garvey. Even would invite Marcus Garvey to speak at their events. Because they took the position, look, you don't want to mess with our daughters, we will not mess with yours. We have peace. That's a beautiful thing. They got race pride, they love themselves. You know, it's a thing every year. When they got the so-called Black History Month,
Demonstrate.
you got some Europeans that say, well, we're going to have a White History Month.
Oh my word.
You know, we got BET.
All right.
But we're going to have, you know, and it's always an issue. It's always a problem. All right? And this is why you have to study yourself. You have to know yourself. Because it's about nationality.
Yes, it is.
This color code system is an illusion. And it's political. Okay? Islam.
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 So I'm going to give all praise to Allah, honor to the prophet, I wish they wanted you honor too. When I remember when I used to read this, we are the clean and pure nation.
That's right.
Descended from the inhabitants of Africa, do not desire or amalgamate to the inhabitants of the pale-skinned nation, right?
That's right.
One thing about us as the people, Allah says everything obeys Allah,
Islam.
except man.
Wow.
And
wow.
I love, and I'm gonna tell you that I love National Geographic. I love animals. But I was reading.
Go ahead, break it down.
Chapter 36. It says, from the secrets of Allah, let man learn wisdom and apply himself the instruction that give. Go to the desert, my son, absorb the young stork of the wilderness, and let him speak to thy heart. Now, the part about it that I want you to understand is, the prophet says we don't want to amalgamate. We want to be a clean and pure nation. Do you see animals? Animals don't, you got different types of tigers, you got different types of birds, you got different types of elephants, but they don't cross over to the next. A lion will not mess with a tiger. A leopard won't mess with a cheetah. You got jaybirds and mockingbirds, they're almost the same, but they won't bother each other. They stay in their own lane. So why can't we? They obey a lot. We don't obey a lot. Seasons don't do that. Seasons don't cross over into another season. Winter stays winter, summer stays summer. So why don't we obey a lot when we go into the situation and listen to an instruction? That's why they've been here a long time. Because they obey Allah. The sun, the moon, the stars, they've been here for a while. But they do what Allah says. You ain't gonna see the sun come up in the nighttime.
Islam.
But you're not gonna see the nighttime come up in the summertime either. That's how it goes.
Islam.
Peace.
Praise Allah.
Yeah,
Thank
that's
you.
right.
Praise Allah. Allah
Very
bless you.
good.
And Allah gives examples in the Quran. Allah talks about His creatures, His creation, the animals, being communities like yourselves.
That's right.
So there are parables that we can learn from Allah's creation. That's a part of the secrets of Allah. That's what the Quran says, from the secrets of Allah. Let man learn wisdom and apply to himself the instruction they give. Those were instructions given by Allah. Okay, now moving forward in regards to Sister Foster Bay's question. Okay, what we are doing in the Morris Science Temple of America, we're cleaning up on various levels.
Praise the Lord.
Your thought has an effect on your DNA. DNA is information. We have certain traits that we have that are passed down from mother and father. And we all can bear witness to that when we look at our children. I look at my daughter, I see me in her.
Praise the Lord.
I see aspects of my wife in her.
That's right.
We were watching a movie a couple of nights ago. My wife said, "Oh, you just like my mother," because she liked to talk through the movies. We have certain traits that we pass down. But coming into the knowledge of self, changing the way you think,
Right.
that is information becoming embedded in your DNA,
That's correct.
in your genes,
That's correct.
that carries information.
That's right.
So when you clean up, you in Islam, you getting pure, Mo, them genes are too.
Yes, they are.
And you can imagine you cleaning up, you striving to get pure, right in the sight of Almighty God, Allah. And your mate is too. They cleaning up. Their DNA, their genes, the information that's encoded in them is cleaning up.
Yeah.
And now you come together, 23 from mom, 23 from dad, create that child, 46 chromosomes. What you think is happening? Generational.
That's right.
You see, Jesus, Morris, he didn't just spontaneously come about.
That's right.
That was by divine ordination.
That's right.
The line genealogy through which Jesus came. Abraham, Boaz by Ruth, Jesse, King David, Solomon, Hezekiah, Joseph by Mary. Oh, that's a divine sequence. It was something in that brother's DNA that was generational. Prophets all through the lines of his genealogy. So for Moors, we encourage Moorish Americans to marry other like-minded Moorish
That's
Americans.
correct.
Okay.
Okay? That way. That's the way.
Okay.
You following a prophet. You striving for purity in life. You under the sound of Prophet Noble Drali's voice. You get someone that's doing the same.
Right, don't get somebody else in another.
And this is why I opened up saying this is a very important lesson that I pray we can teach our babies.
Uh-huh.
Teach them about their makeup.
That's right.
Teach them about their DNA.
That's right.
About those chromosomes that came from mom and dad. Teach them about that. And then, prayerfully, they would alter the way they would view choosing a mate.
That's right.
You see, the prophet says, fix not suddenly.
Oh.
Prophet says, examine with care. You have to be meticulous in your examination of your potential choosing of a mate.
That's right.
You got to see how do they process information? How do you deal with struggle? You're not just caught up on a physical, oh, they look good, I'm going to marry them because they look good. Well, that's an illusion, Mo. You don't marry them because at the moment you feeling good. Emotions are illusions.
Right.
Do you know serotonin? That's a chemical
Yes.
that's released in the brain, all right, by way of the glands that make you feel good. That's why when that's low, doctors say, well, they don't believe in Allah. A lot of them don't. They believe in medication. They say, I'm going to prescribe you Prozac. You're miserable, I'm going to give you Prozac. You're depressed, I'm going to give you Prozac. Because they don't believe in Allah and thought. Thought is sovereign. Listen.
Islam.
Thought is sovereign. It's the thought that initiates everything.
That's right.
It's the thought, then the brain sends signals to the glands. The glands then release the hormones into the bloodstream. That makes you say, I don't feel good right now. Okay? Thought is the cause of it all. That's why we got to change the way we think. To be content is to be happy. There's the endocrine system of the flesh and the endocrine system of the soul. And these are the perfumes and the odors that are clothed in flesh. Islam owns. All of this is dealing with self. Listen, and how we are made. And that's why we got to go deep. Don't stay surface bound in the lesson. Go deep. Cells, the body is composed of cells. Cells are composed of molecules. Molecules are composed of atoms. Atoms are composed of subatomic particles. And at the root, it's energy. So, sister, you be careful, queen. Be careful of that brother you let enter your corridor of creation. Be careful of what you let him release into you. It's information. It's energy. And it has an effect on you. You got to be careful. There's a circumcision of the flesh and there's a circumcision of the heart. Before you enter the woman, you want to be clean. Body, mind, and soul. Clean. Okay? So this is why this is very important for our nation. Correcting, cleaning up a lot of traits and things, negative things that we have passed down from our ancestors. You have it in you. Some genes are turned on, some can actually be turned off.
That's right.
Based on your circumstance.
That's right.
That's why we're not exactly like mom and dad. Because you're your own person. And what that is, when those souls, okay, the chairman, praise Allah, him and his wife, and we praying for your wife, praise Allah, beautiful baby,
Praise Allah. Yes.
just was born, congratulations, that's big.
Yes.
For the community, that's big. And that's why we celebrate that.
Yes.
Celebrate these births.
Right.
That soul, Mo, that soul of royal sage, it was compatible already with the energy from the chairman and his wife.
That's right.
So they gave their 23 chromosomes
That's right.
that carries a lot of information. And that soul is compatible with it.
True.
That's right. Praise Allah. All right. So we got to think about this when we're nation building. We're teaching our young people about when they get those feelings and those thoughts and you attracted to the opposite sex. We got to teach them about self, about how they're created. We got to teach them how to teach others.
That's right.
Everyone is not going to find a mate in the Moorish Science Temple of America, and just because they're in the Moorish Science Temple of America don't make them right. So you raise them right.
Right.
And you teach them to be a teacher, to be a leader, to be a guider. They encounter someone who don't know, someone who's conscious, teach them how to turn the light on. How to inspire. You're a healer when you can inspire faith in others. In order to change anyone's actions, you have to model the desired action. So you get a mate, you're interested in someone, you trying to change them, don't try to change them. You got to change yourself.
Allah.
You see, Prophet Muhammad, he talked about in parables too, how you try to straighten up your wife. You know, you try to straighten her, you'll break her. Okay? You got to be gentle. You got to be mild in your approach. As far as instructing your mate. Oh, no, you got to come to the temple. You don't come to the temple, they ain't going to love you more, they're going to despise you. Alright? You got to be like the prophet. The prophet says, be loved like I, the prophet, is loved. Alright? Prophet was a loving prophet. And we got to demonstrate the prophet, no withdrawal. Then your mate going to love you more. And if your mate love you, they love the prophet. If you demonstrating right,
That's right.
If they love you and don't love the prophet, you're doing
That's a
something
problem.
wrong.
That's a real problem.
That's the bottom line. And listen, if my wife loved me and she don't love the prophet, I'm doing something wrong.
That's right.
I'm showing her something different or other than the prophet. Oh, I like that part of you, but when you like that, I don't like that. Harmony.
That's right.
There must be harmony in the home. That's why we demonstrate premarital counseling.
That's right.
There got to be harmony.
It does.
Because when you first meet somebody, everything is all good. Oh man, they look good. Y'all going out, y'all having a good old time.
Work
Like
it out,
ice cream,
boy.
you like ice cream.
You like ice cream, I like ice cream. You like pizza, I like pizza. I like extra cheese, Mo. You know what I'm saying? My wife, she like, don't order extra cheese. I like extra cheese. Okay? But get to know each other's soul.
That's right.
The soul, the actions of the soul are what? Thinking, understanding,
Willing.
reasoning, willing. Get to know that part.
All that.
Do you reason well? Are you a reasonable person? If you're unreasonable, Mo, it's not gonna work. You're gonna be fighting over some crazy stuff. Over illusions, Mo. It's nothing but an illusion. And now you done lost your mind over the illusion. What's wrong with you? That's what I be thinking, Mo. What's wrong with you, Mo? It's bigger than that. Mo, it's so much bigger. It's bigger than money.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? You don't got to fight about money. This and that.
That's right.
Mo.
That's right.
Why you fight about money?
Yeah.
All right, what's your issue?
That's
It's
right.
bigger than that.
Yeah.
Mo, the spirit is much more. That's why you got to make. And one change form first, it's all right because the spiritual connection's still there.
That's right. Never dies.
It transcends the physical. So although I can't see you,
That's right.
but I still know you.
That's right.
And I feel you and you feel me. That's why you got to be careful about grief.
That's right.
That's right.
If my wife and I, we married, and I got some work for me to do, but she crying, and she upset, she think about me. I can't do my work, Mo, because I'm worried about how she feel. I keep turning around and trying to make sure she all right. Like, hey, it's all right. I'm trying to tell her it's all right, but she don't hear my voice because she on the physical.
Right.
But I'm trying to say I'm all right, but she don't hear me. All right? That's why the spiritual connection. You gotta focus on this. You gotta focus on the spiritual
That's
connection.
That's right. That's right.
The spirit. You'll never ever break the spiritual bond
Wow.
that you have. Never ever.
That's right.
And when you change forms, you'll meet again.
Praise
You
the
will meet again.
Praise the Lord.
Because Allah is merciful. He's most merciful. You don't think Allah gonna reunite families? Soul groups. My wife and I, we talk about the soul, Mo. Talk about the spirit. How we travel. Soul groups. We all knew each other before. You think we don't know each other? You know how natural we are? Brother Curdy, man, how natural it is. It's more, I get his most on. He's like, I love you, King. And it's natural. He's not forcing it.
Yeah.
He ain't being fake. That's real.
That's right.
You and your higher self, you're being real. When you mean, that's fake.
That's right.
That's
That's right.
Because you're not being yourself. When you mean, listen, when you unjust, that's being fake, Mo.
That's right.
See, the world got it twisted.
That's right.
They think being nice is being fake. Being nice is being real. That's your real self. You know how natural it is, how we know each other? It's like we met last month, 3 months ago. And it's like we knew each other all our lives.
That's right.
Love.
Because we knew each other.
That's right.
That's Sister Tatiana. Brother Suadil. Sister told me the story how she got in here. She said Suadil was outside saying, come on, sis, we're all family. Come on in this temple. That's deep. That's deep, Mo.
Fish.
That's right. Allah, listen. Allah told you to do that.
That's right.
Allah. Because it's a connection.
Yeah.
You think we didn't know Sister Tatiana before? We knew each other, sister. Sister speaking Spanish yesterday, helping us out with the community. You think Allah didn't will that? Allah knew the talent you had. We serve in the community. We got Spanish-speaking Moors here. And now they can relate to you. Because Allah brought the family back together. And He do it again. Your mates, one change for them first, it's all right.
That's right.
Allah bring you back together. And you still connected. Divinely, spiritually.
Always.
And that comforts the heart.
Yes, it does.
It brings a comfort, a spiritual rest and a peace to the heart.
That's right.
Because man is not the body nor the soul. He's a spirit and a part of Almighty God, Allah. That's a revolutionary teaching. To know that you are spirit. All right? It's not really written. Let's see.
I rise again in the name of Allah, giving honor to His Prophet Muhammad. What information or what type of wisdom, I guess, would we give to our brother or sister who's already either married or dealing with someone who's a European?
Peace. And that has happened before, brother. And recently in the institution, a brother, I taught the lesson, and after the lesson, he's like, Brother Grant, I got to talk to you. And he says, married to a European. And I'm like, brother, I just said what the prophet said, man. I'm not going to tell you what to do.
That's right.
I'm going to just give you the prophet lesson. And you got to make that decision for yourself. And the decisions we make, and the chairman opened up with choices. A lot of them are difficult.
Yes, yes.
Allah says in the Quran, don't hold to ties to disbelieving men. All right? And this is why many of our brothers in the East, they say, well, our sisters can't marry non-believers, but a brother can. I beg to differ. I beg to differ.
Right.
Okay, so that's a tough decision. Okay, now reported statements on Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Reportedly, the Moors say that when the Prophet Noble Drew Ali taught, and Allah knows best. I'm saying reportedly. They said the Prophet reportedly stated that if you're married and your wife is not in the temple, give her 2 apples, which means be twice as nice. All right, be twice as nice. And I would encourage Moors who have mates who come in the temple, they find the prophet and they're already married and they love the prophet. I encourage them to model the prophet in the home. All right, model the prophet. Be kind, be loving. Introduce them to the prophet. We teach Marcus Garvey Day how we all serve as little forerunners. Right? Preparing the way to meet the king. We're preparing the way, preparing our minds. See, before you impregnate the sister physically, you got to impregnate her mind first with the principles. All right, so it's a lot of work that must be done, and the work is on self. We got to change ourselves. We got to change the way we think. We got to change the way we communicate, because it's not always about what you said, but how you said it. And I was taught by Adam in the movement that what you can be saying, it can be factual.
That's right.
But how it came out, it has ceased to become the truth. So there's a difference between fact and truth. Because you tainted with what you said, with the low vibration, it's not the truth no more. Because now it's mixed with the lower ether, with the lower vibration. Not pure. The thought is not pure anymore. That's why we got to be careful. Don't communicate with an attitude. We got to watch our facial expressions. Your face tells it all. How you feeling, babe? You all right, babe? I'm all right. Face tells it all. You said you all right. I know you're not all right. What's the matter? You know what I'm saying? What's the matter? What's the energy? What's the vibration? All right, so watch your facial expressions. Your countenance should be lit with what? Joy. All right? A smile heals. You know, it takes so many muscles to make a frown on your face. More muscle. That's right. Put a smile on your face. Watch the way your facial expression is. Make sure it's no attitude. Make sure you don't got no snake charmer in your neck. Get that movement out your neck. All right, straighten up. That's right. Get that crook out your neck. All right? Be humble. Be open. Be loving. Everything is love. Exude love. Islam, my sister.
That reminds me of a picture I saw with Robert Williams.
Yes.
He played in the picture where he got killed in a car accident.
Right.
And he was on this heavenly plane.
Right.
And he heard his wife crying and being upset.
Right.
And he was asking this man, was like an angel taking him in a tour
Right.
in this world. And he was asking about his wife, and he sensed that his wife was very upset.
Yes.
So eventually his wife committed suicide, and he said, "What happened? What's going to happen to my wife?" The man said, "Suicides go someplace else," and he told the angel, he said, "Take me to my wife." As he was in the house, in this messed up house, real sad,
Right.
crying, upset, but it wasn't like a fire, but it was like a state that she was in.
Right.
Well, what we want to know, when something happens, so bad happened to a person in their childhood,
Right.
that mess up their mind, something that's not
Go ahead.
not their fault.
Go ahead.
How can they overcome that mental, and they end up with mental illness?
Yes.
How can they overcome that?
Yes, and the thing is that I want you to know first is that you can overcome that. And what that is, it's trauma. A lot of us have experienced trauma to the mind
Yeah.
in our childhood, you know, because your view of the world is shaped by your experience as a child. That's why you got to be very careful with your children in the home, what you expose them to, what you let them watch on TV, when you arguing.
That's right.
You think they're not listening, they listening. Right, so the thing, so you can overcome that trauma, but it's going to be a method, it's going to be a system. And that's why we're the Moorish Science Temple of America. You come to Moorish Science, it's not going to be an overnight change. We're not saying, and we got to be clear, because some people think when you get your nationality card, all of a sudden your life going to change overnight. No. You're thinking that you an illusion. All right? It's going to be a process. All right? Correcting your thoughts. Because listen, the brain, that's the storehouse of the soul. They say we only use just a little bit of part of our brain. It's like the soul in its mansion, and you haven't even been through all the rooms. You don't know the lot of treasures that's in that room over there. Okay? The brain is a storehouse of the soul. The brain is composed of billions of neurons. Neurons are nerve cells. Nerve cells that fire together, wire together. That's how when you learn how to tie your shoe.
Yeah.
At first it's really, really difficult.
Yeah.
But through practice over and over and over again,
Yeah.
you form a network, a
I'm
neural
learning how to
network
play the piano.
in your brain.
I'm learning how to play the
That's
piano
right.
and one time keep
It's
doing it.
the same thing with learning to love instead of hate. It's going to be a process. That's why Ramadan is so important. Because it says you do something over and over and over again, I believe 28 days, it becomes a habit. You can make habits and break habits. So that trauma, to heal that trauma, is going to be a process. But you got to be dedicated to the process. So you got to attend your meetings, Mo.
Right.
All of them. Not some of the time, all the time. And promptly. You got to study your lessons. You got to learn to love instead of hate. You got to purify your heart. You got to open up the windows of your heart. Let love in. Let the prophet in. You learn to do that through repetition. You heal. All right, so it's possible to heal. Okay? Allah bless you. Islam, quickly.
So it's wow. I wanted to keep up on what you were saying about when the ice cream, I like ice cream and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And many of y'all know by now that my wife brought me in here.
Come on.
And
Come on.
what it was about me was, and this is about people, when you say that you're Moorish American or you love it and stuff like that, they watch you.
Right.
They watched every
Come on.
move you made. And
That's
I watched every move she made.
That's right.
And I was waiting for her to slip.
Wow.
So I can jump in and say something.
Wow.
This is me.
Wow.
I'm telling you what everybody else is
Woo.
doing, but this is me.
Come on.
I waited. She never cracked. Never one day have I been with her, she cracked on this, yelling back at me or getting upset with me,
That's
right?
right. That's right.
And I kept saying to myself, listen, God, this ain't right. But it was right. I wasn't right. That was right.
Teach the
I
gospel.
wasn't right.
Teach the
But
gospel.
that was right.
That's right.
And it comes to the point where if y'all two on the right level, your baby will watch you. If
Islam.
y'all two men and women, a baby will watch you.
Yes, they will.
And then they will see which one of y'all will crack.
Come on.
And they'll act like the one that cracked.
Yep.
They won't act like the one that's positive
Come
because
on.
they're trying to figure out what's going on. How do I know this? When I was a baby, my mom told me that every morning she woke up and told my older brother, she said, Butch, go get Michael some milk. Butch, go get Michael some milk. At the age I was 3 months, I started saying Butch. At 3 months.
Wow.
Because I was listening.
Yeah.
So you got to beware when he's
Yes.
saying don't amalgamate or don't make this not pure.
Come on.
Because even from a baby, they're
Right.
watching.
Right.
And they're watching you every day. You
That's
got to be more in here
Come on.
and out there.
That's right.
And that's what I was watching for.
Yes.
And that's why I'm here now.
Praise
Because of what
Allah.
I've seen and I believe. Make a believe out of the people.
Come on.
Peace.
Peace. More to the core. 100%. Unapologetically Moorish. And that brother, that's a strong brother right there. All right? And don't look at it as, oh, that sister, she brought him in the temple. Oh, he brought that sister to the temple. Allah brought them to the temple. Allah may have used a person as a vessel
Right.
just to guide the way. But that was Allah, and you were man enough
Right.
to accept the truth when you encountered it.
That's right.
And that's a blessing, and that's a lesson in itself. And I want you to continue to tell your story. Because what that does, that proves the possibilities of man. We got to know it's possible.
That's right.
All right? Islam, Moors. Islam. Islam. Allah bless you, Moors. I pray you understood everything that we went over this afternoon. If you have any questions, write them down, inshallah. In next class, we can go more in depth because I didn't even get a chance to talk about the 102 questionnaire
Praise Allah.
and with the Prophet Nubutu Ali, what he said about the other degree he gave them on Adam and Eve. Praise Allah. Thank you, Moors, for your attention.
Yeah, this one sheet.
Thank you. At this point in time, yes, thank you. Praise Allah. I'm going to read quickly from the 101 questionnaire. Quran questions for Moorish Americans. Let us all recite the Moorish American prayer in unison. Allah, the Father of the universe, the Father of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Allah is my protector, my guide, and my salvation, by night and by day. Through his holy prophet, through Ali. Amen. These are Quran questions for Moorish children. We are all children of the Almighty God Allah. I'll read the question. You can all recite the answer in unison. Question number 1. Who made you?
Allah.
Who is Allah?
Allah is the founder of the universe.
Can we see him?
No.
Where's the nearest place we can meet him?
In the heart.
Who is Noble Dra Ali?
He's Allah's prophet.
What is a prophet?
The prophet is Lord of Allah manifested in the flesh.
What is the duty of a
To
prophet?
save nations from the wrath of Allah.
Who is the founder of the Moorish Science of America?
Noble Drew Ali.
What year was the Moorish Science of America founded?
1913 AD.
Where?
Newark, New Jersey.
Where was Noble Dra Ali born?
In the state of North Carolina, 1886.
What is his nationality?
Moorish American.
What is your nationality?
Moorish American.
Why are we Moorish American?
Because we are descendants of Moroccans and born in America.
What purpose was the Moorish Science of America founded?
For the uplifting of fallen humanity.
How did the prophet begin to uplift the Moorish Americans?
By teaching them to be themselves.
Praise Allah. At this point in time, I'd like to appoint Deputized Muftis to rise for the reading of the Prophet's proclamation.